Have you ever found yourself lying in bed at 2 in the morning, staring at the white glow of your ceiling, just wondering if you're actually doing enough? You see people on your screen who are 18 or 19 years old, driving cars you can't afford, talking about their five-figure businesses, and looking like they have every single piece of the life puzzle figured out. It makes you look at your own life, your school assignments, your messy room, your empty bank account, and it feels like you're already behind in a race you didn't even know had started. You want to make money, not just because you want stuff, but because you want that feeling of weightlessness. You want to know that if you wanted to go out with friends or buy a specific tool for your hobby, you wouldn't have to ask for permission or check a balance that's hovering near zero. You want to know that you're capable. But the more you look for answers, the more confused you get. One person tells you to start a drop shipping store, another says crypto is the only way, another says you need to learn to code, and suddenly you're so overwhelmed by the sheer volume of options that you end up doing nothing at all. You just sit there with this heavy, dull feeling in your chest, wondering why it seems so easy for everyone else and so incredibly complicated for you. If that's where you are right now, I want you to take a deep breath and really listen. You aren't failing, you aren't broken, and you aren't lazy. You're just a teenager trying to navigate a world that is designed to keep you distracted, profitable for others, and perpetually confused about your own potential. The reality of being a teenager or a young adult right now is actually quite exhausting, and it's something older generations don't always fully grasp. You are stuck in this weird, uncomfortable gap between childhood and adulthood, where the expectations placed on you are massive, but the actual guidance you receive is almost zero. Think about your daily routine. You spend 7 or 8 hours a day in a classroom learning things that often feel completely disconnected from the actual life you're living. Nobody's sitting you down to teach you how to manage your stress, how to communicate your value to another person, or how money actually flows through the modern economy. Then you come home, tired from a day of memorizing facts you'll forget by next month, you open your phone and you're hit with a constant, aggressive stream of comparison. You aren't just comparing yourself to the kids at your school anymore. You're comparing your behind-the-scenes footage, the messy parts, the doubts, the bad hair days, to everyone else's highlight reel from every corner of the planet. It creates this constant humming pressure to be someone before you've even had a chance to figure out who you are. You feel like you have to choose a career path that will last for the next 40 years, but you don't even know what you're doing next weekend. This massive gap between the academic world and the real world creates a lot of fear. You're afraid of making the wrong choice, afraid of wasting your youth, and afraid of being stagnant while the rest of the world seems to be moving at light speed. It's hard to move forward when you feel like you're walking through a thick fog with no compass. There is a very real psychological reason why you feel this way, and I want to explain it so you stop blaming your character for things that are actually just biology. It's not because something is wrong with your brain. In fact, your brain is doing exactly what it was evolved to do. During your teenage years and early 20s, your brain is undergoing a massive amount of physical restructuring. The part of your brain that seeks rewards and excitement, the limbic system, is fully developed and running at full speed. However, the part that handles long-term planning, logic, and impulse control, the prefrontal cortex, is still under construction. It won't be fully finished until you're in your mid-20s. This is why you get hit with a sudden, massive burst of motivation to start a business at midnight, but by 10 o'clock the next morning, that same idea feels way too hard, and you go back to scrolling on your phone. Your brain is also incredibly sensitive to social status right now. Thousands of years ago, being rejected by your tribe meant you wouldn't survive the winter. So today, when you see someone else succeeding financially on social media, your brain interprets your lack of money as a direct threat to your survival and your place in the group. That's why the FOMO, the fear of missing out, feels so physically painful. It's also why you procrastinate. Procrastination isn't about being lazy or having a bad work ethic. It's a coping mechanism for anxiety. When you think about the steps to making money, you think about the possibility of failing or looking stupid, and your brain tries to protect you from that danger by making you do something safe and easy instead, like watching another how-to video instead of actually doing the work. Understanding that this is just biological wiring can help you stop being so hard on yourself and start working with your brain instead of against it. To actually move forward and see a change in your life, we have to fundamentally change the way you look at self-improvement and getting started. Most people think you need a massive, consistent burst of motivation to start a project. They wait for that feeling of being fired up to take action. But if you rely on motivation, you've already lost. Motivation is like a physical spark. It's bright and hot, but it dies out almost instantly. What you actually need to find is clarity. Clarity is knowing exactly what the next small, boring step is, regardless of how you feel emotionally. You need to stop looking for the perfect business model or the secret trick that will make you rich overnight. Those don't exist, and the people selling them are usually just profiting off your confusion. Perfectionism is just another form of procrastination in a fancy suit. It's the voice in your head saying that if you can't do it perfectly or if you don't have the best equipment, you shouldn't do it at all. But the truth is, the first version of anything you do is going to be pretty bad. Your first video, your first sales pitch, your first attempt at a skill, it won't be great. And that's not just okay, it's necessary. The goal isn't to be perfect, the goal is to be in the game. You have to be willing to be the clumsy beginner for a while. Shift your mindset from, I need to make $1,000 this month, to, I need to learn how to provide value to just one person. When you focus on small, manageable actions, the anxiety starts to fade because the task doesn't feel like a giant, insurmountable mountain anymore. It just feels like a single, simple step. Now, let's talk about the money part with total honesty, because that's why you're here. We need to strip away all the hustle culture noise and look at what money actually is at its core. Money is simply a tool used to trade value between people. It's a certificate of appreciation for a problem solved. If you want to make money as a teenager, you have to stop looking for methods and start looking for skills. A method is something like a specific app, a survey site, or a trendy side hustle that might work for a month and then disappear when the algorithm changes. A skill is something you carry with you forever. Think about the things businesses or individuals actually struggle with right now. They need help getting more eyes on their products. They need their long videos edited into short clips. They need their social media managed because they don't understand the trends, or they need technical problem solved. As a teenager, your greatest asset isn't your bank account. It's your time and your native ability to learn new digital tools 10 times faster than the older generation. Instead of asking, how can I get money, you should be asking, what problem can I solve for someone who already has money? If you can edit a video better than a busy business owner can, or if you can organize a spreadsheet better than a local shop owner, you have created value. You don't need a fancy degree or a suit for this. You just need to be slightly more competent than the person who is paying you. Don't worry about scaling or passive income or investing yet. Those are concepts for later down the road. Right now, your only job is to prove to yourself that you can exchange a skill for a single dollar. Once you do it once, the mystery disappears, and you realize that making money is a repeatable process, not a stroke of luck. So, how do you actually start tomorrow without getting overwhelmed again? You need a system, not a dream. A dream is, I want to be a wealthy entrepreneur. A system is, I am going to spend 90 minutes every single day practicing one specific skill. Just one. Don't try to learn 5 things at once. It could be graphic design, it could be writing persuasive emails, it could be video editing, or even learning how to use specific AI tools to automate repetitive tasks for people. Pick one that feels even slightly interesting to you. For the next 30 days, I want you to make a deal with yourself. Don't worry about making a single cent. Just worry about becoming decent at that one skill. Use the infinite resources on the internet to learn it for free. Practice it when you're bored. Once you have a basic level of competence, once you can actually produce something of value, start reaching out to people. Reach out to 5 people, creators, or local businesses every single day. But here is the key. Don't ask them for a job. Don't send a generic, "Are you hiring?" message. Instead, offer a specific solution to a problem you've noticed they have. Tell them, I saw your latest post and I thought it would look great as a short form video, so I went ahead and made a sample for you. If you like it, I can do more. If you do this consistently, you will eventually get a yes. The magic isn't in the skill itself, the magic is in the consistency of the outreach. Most people your age will quit after 3 days because they didn't get a response and their ego felt bruised. If you can just stay in the game for 3 months, you will already be ahead of 99% of the people you see online. Focus on one skill, 90 minutes a day, and 5 outreaches. That is the entire secret formula. I want you to remember as we wrap this up that your worth as a human being is not tied to your bank account or how productive you were today, especially not at this stage of your life. You have so much time to figure this out, even if the internet makes it feel like you're running out of it. The fact that you're even sitting here, listening to this, and looking for ways to improve your situation shows that you have the right spark inside you. You don't need to have your whole life mapped out by next Tuesday. You don't need to be a millionaire by 21 to be a success. You just need to be a little bit more curious today than you were yesterday. Be patient with yourself. Life isn't a race against those influencers on your screen. It's just a long, interesting journey of you becoming a more capable, more confident version of yourself. Take the pressure off your shoulders for a moment. Start small, stay calm, and just keep moving in the direction that feels right. You're doing better than you think you are, and you're gonna be okay. I'm really curious to know, if you had to pick just one skill to focus on for the next month, something that actually interests you, what would it be? Just thinking about it is the first step toward that clarity we talked about. Would you like me to help you break down how to learn that specific skill from scratch? If you're ready to stop just watching and start actually building, I'd love to have you as part of this community. We don't do the get rich quick noise here. We focus on the real psychology and the actual skills that give you freedom. By subscribing, you're basically telling yourself that you're done with the confusion and ready for the clarity. It's a small commitment to your future self. I'm glad you stayed until the end. It shows you have the patience most people lack. Take it one step at a time.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.